All right, I am back. Now, that group left. I had a couple of groups come through in between and whatever. Like I said, I'm not going to name any group. I just want to remember these little bits. Actually, there was a farmer that rocked up too. There was a farmer that was rocking up, and he sort of let me down a little bit. And it's lucky I didn't rely on him. I was able to get somebody else. Because I asked him to get some tins of food. Because the fishing wasn't doing too good, I asked him to get a few tins of baked beans. And I was going to give him money. He goes, no, don't worry about the money, mate. I'll look after you. That's not even going to be $10 worth. And I said, oh, okay, no worries. I've got the money here. And he goes, no, don't worry about it, like this. And I said, okay, no worries. But he never come back. So I was lucky that I had somebody else do it for me. In fact, the girl that was in with the 3 guys in that group, the girl that I had dealings with in the main group before the 2 guys came back, she actually got in and paid for it. Because of the problems I had with those 3 guys, because she overheard it all, and I got a phone from the family that don't really like them that much because of that bullshit. They're just very disrespectful. They don't give a fuck about anyone else. And that just absolutely showed when they stayed on my camp. The girls came over to apologise, and the guys didn't. Cowards. So, what was I saying? Well, I was going back to that group. I lost train of thought now. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So she ended up getting, and she got me a bag of lollies too, and a bottle of soft drink. Because that's we sort of spoke, and she goes, oh, geez, aren't you missing the things? I said, yeah, the main things I miss are soft drink and lollies. So to say sorry for those 3 guys, she paid for like 6 cans of baked beans and a packet of lollies and a bottle of lemon soft drink. Right, so, yeah, sorry. And she gave me the bag, and she goes, there's a couple of things there extra for you. Oh, no worries, thank you. Like that, so she did well. It was only $10 worth, but, $15 worth, but, yeah, that's how nice she was compared to these arseholes, and that's her family. I think they're cousins or something. The whole lot were from Melbourne, but it was only those 3 in that group that were arseholes. In fact, I probably, at that spot there, I had about 130 people go through, and I'm not kidding you, about 130 people go through. In fact, I'm probably echoing off this wall right through to these guys that are in the boat. I can hear myself echoing. And if it was a little bit windier, what you can hear is, you know how you get a tube, right? In fact, I'll show you. I'll zoom in a bit. In fact, I might try and get a bit closer. Can you see all those holes? Right, even down at the bottom of the river's edge. Right, what happens when you've got a little bit... Come on, what's going on here? Oh, no, I can't zoom in. It's all right. I was trying to zoom back out and all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't have a zoom on this side. Yeah, those holes, when the wind's going and the water's ebbing in and out of those holes, it makes like a boing, 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 as a sort of, it sounds awesome, eh? It sounds pretty good. I reckon it'd get annoying if you're camped over that side. I don't know if it would or not. But yeah, it sounds pretty cool when you're going past it. Now, so the farmer sort of let me down. He was the one that let me know. Now, while I was at Echuca, while I was at that spot at Echuca, I sat there and watched the river rise. Now, I got there, in the first 10 days I was there, because the river, every time I made a stop, so this is very early on the trip, this is still only about 3 weeks into the trip, the river was still rising a little bit, about an inch a day or sort of thing, inch, 2 inches a day. Right, so I was putting a stick in every day to see how far it had come up. Right, now, it came up, up vertically. Along the bank, it had come up like, quite a few metres, but vertically, it had come up about sort of 2 feet while I was at Echuca in the first 10 days. Right, now, in the next 4 days, after that first 10 days, in the next 4 days, it went down 5 feet. Right, it went down a hell of a long way very quickly. And that farmer, he used to bring his kids down to, like when I say farmer, he's only my age, probably a bit younger than me actually, I'd say about 35, 40. He was bringing his kids down for a swim. Right, now, he sat there and said that they'd opened up Turumbury to let a lot of the pressure off. So that's why it dropped down so quick. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant about speedboats as well, because while I was up high, speedboats running. Right, so they were causing a lot of damage, because a lot of speedboat drivers reckon they don't cause that much damage to the bank. Bullshit. Right, I watched massive chunks of rock, and I can hear myself echoing. I can hear myself echoing when I get to near like these holes. It's really weird. I'm going to listen to this later on. I'll see if I can hear it. There's a lot of caves, a lot of tiny little caves. I'll show you here. You can see right in. See there? There, look at that. That goes quite a long way in. I've got my phone hanging over the wall, so I'm trying to be very careful. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. Just after I zoomed in, I hope you saw it. A fish just jumped out. So I think I'm pointing to the right spot. If I'm not, I messed up really bad. Oh, that's it there. That's a hole that goes right in. Right. Just show you the holes. Spin the camera around. Come on. Come on. Yeah, so these guys, what was I saying? Oh, the speedboats, right? I was watching, and they'd about 2 feet long, about a foot deep, because all the water's been washed out from underneath it. So the big chunks of dirt, they've got nothing to hold them up. So they just fall off the dirt that's above them. So they just fall off and into the water. And oh mate, like you saw those holes there. That's the sort of shit you get along there. But all those holes are joined together. You saw a few of the holes there. All those holes are joined together underneath, and it's only so long that a chunk of dirt can stay up there, and then it just starts to fall off. You know, it just, so much damage. It's erosion, same as nature does, you know, when the river's up and down, but just a lot quicker. Anyone says it doesn't cause that much damage, you know, wake up yourself. Just don't lie to yourself. Check it out. Now, I had a guy in Swan Hill. Now, he probably says that because there's only a couple. Like, I've seen, since I left Echuca, I've probably only seen about 8, maybe a dozen ski boats. That's it. After Echuca, that's all I've seen, and that's literally it. Right? It would not be more than, I don't even think it's close to a dozen, but it would be a dozen at the most, without trying to exaggerate. Right? So there was a guy near Swan Hill at Robin Vale. He was saying he was about 20 odd, 25, 27 or something like that. And he sat there and said, oh, they don't cause that much damage. I said, you're up here, and you've got 1 or 2 floating around. Right? Oh, you've got more than that. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen any. You go down to Echuca, you don't keep saying that unless you're going to go down to Echuca. Say they don't cause that much damage up this end. But up the other end, you've got dozens of them going up and down the river. And they are absolutely killing, eroding the river bank away. Right? I said, yeah, don't keep saying that unless you actually go down to Echuca and see it. Because that's, just give me 2 seconds. There we go. I cleaned the camera off a bit. I don't know if it's I've got my screen on a little bit dark, so I don't know if it's fuzzy. It looks a little bit fuzzy, so I don't know if the camera's got, you know, obviously greasy fingers on the phone and that. Now, so that's my rant about speedboats. I don't think they should be banned, but just don't tell me, just don't say that it doesn't do any damage. I don't think they should be. Me personally, if it was my river, I would probably ban them. You got enough lakes you can use them on. There's enough lakes around the place you can use them on. Or give me some money so I can pay for it, you know, well, you don't want to dam every frigging wall up. You know, this is nature. This is what I want to come out and see. You know, it's just, you don't want it to be structures like this. You know, you have a look at this here. I'll do it when I'm a bit closer so you can see it. Now, you need them. You need the infrastructure for water and that, but you got this here. If I zoom in, I was going to suggest that anyone that brings a ski boat onto the river can pay for that to be put up along the river to stop it from eroding away. But then it's you know, don't look like a river anymore. You know, it just looks like a fucking pool. It's just not look like a swimming pool. Well, actually, that's quite a big pipe. What is that? Swan Reach Stockwell pipeline. So it's obviously water to get water down there. That's quite a big pipe. Quite a big pipe out there. It's 2 feet wide, but it looks about 2 feet wide nearly. So that runs quite a fair bit of water through it. Now, I sat there and, like I said, alright, so that's my rant about speedboats. I don't care if you got them, just don't say they don't do any damage. Just don't tell me they don't do damage to the Murray River, because they freaking do. Alright. Now, so this next group. This is really fucked up. Now, I sat there and had a bunch of 25-year-olds rock up. They asked. Every group asked, except for this group. Now I'm going to call them the weird group, right? I'm going to call them the weird group because that's the image we got. Now, and it was justified, absolutely justified when you listen to this. Now, I sat there and spoke to these young guys. They were quite fine. I had quite a few dealings with them. They just kept coming over and asking me, because there was 2 main guys that stayed there the whole time. They were there from Tuesday right through to Sunday, but there was a few others that were coming in between times, right? And they told me that was going to happen. That's fine. They didn't worry me. And they had a little trail bike. They had 2 little trail bikes that were like a 110, size, you know, PW110 sort of deal, whatever they're called. Right, now, they rode them in and out. That got a little bit annoying, but it only lasted about 10, 15 minutes. It didn't matter. You know, it wasn't too... And that's a little bit pertinent to the story later. Now, they rocked up. They were fine. I said, you're going to have loud music, but just don't be stupid with it. You know, and I was lucky enough that the music they liked, and they're only 27, no, 20, these guys were 25, my music, AC/DC, Cold Chisel, Kiss, just all that old 80s rock, 70s and 80s rock, you know, good rock music, you know. And I sat there and going, oh, beauty, awesome. So I sat there and, you know, I had a few dinners with them. They gave me a few beers here and there. And they actually give me quite a few beers. I kept walking over and said, there you go. No, there we go. It's hot day. Like this. So they looked after me real well. I reckon they gave me about a dozen beers over the time. It's probably a little bit more, actually. The last night, they just fed me. They gave me 1 or 2 a day. But then, like on the last night, they just sat there and said, come and have a beer with us. Like this. And they just kept feeding. Every time I was empty, they said, there's another one. And I said, no, this is still half full. Drink up. Like that. That's how good they were. They're really nice young guys. Really nice young guys. And yeah, they were all tradies. And no real tradie banter. No swearing. I mean, I swore. I mean, they're 25-year-old guys, you know, tradies. They swore a bit, but not majorly. They weren't like massive, you know, like typical, you know, Ocker tradies, you know, YOLOs. They didn't act like YOLOs. Not this weekend anyway. Now, they rocked up. After a couple of days of them being there, this other group rocked up. And they had nothing to do with us, nothing to do with them. Right, and they just plonked down. Didn't even ask if they could stop. They just started setting up a tent. Right, looked around and started setting up a tent. Right, now, we started getting a vibe about them. There's young guys like, did they ask you? No, I didn't ask you either then, I'm assuming, if you're asking me that. No, they didn't ask because they just plonked themselves down. Didn't worry about it. They did say hello. After they set up and sort of started walking down, they did say hello, but they never asked. That's fine, whatever. They didn't really play loud music, but wait till you hear this. Now, on the, just make sure I didn't break my glasses. Now, on the second day they were there or something like that, I can't remember the days, it doesn't matter. Now, on one of the days they were there, they were playing this game on the ground, right? It's a wood game where you got to chuck a block of wood at a couple other blocks of wood. I don't know what it is, right? And I was sitting underneath my awning of my tent, just, you know, doing whatever I was doing, and I overheard one of the ladies, because the lady was about 40 years old, roughly my age, maybe 45 or something like that, roughly my age, and she sat there and she said to the rest of the group, loud enough for me, I don't think that would have been deliberate, I think it was just, you know, she said that I can walk around this campsite pissing without missing a step. And I go, hey, what? I look up and here she is, walking around the campsite, pissing. Piss coming out of her. Right, she still had her bikini bottom, she still had a bikini on. But quite hot. They sort of a little bit hippie-ish. Like, you know, a little bit like hippies, but they weren't really dressed like it or anything like that. But they sort of seemed like a little bit. They weren't too shy or anything like that. But she sat there and, and obviously not shy because she was pissing. Walking around the campsite pissing. Not even in their own area. They're right in the middle of the campsite where everyone has to walk in bare feet and that. And I said, oh, Jesus Christ, like this. And I'm going, what the fuck am I looking at? What the fuck's going on? Like this. Yeah, and I said, God, Jesus. Like that. I literally absolutely could not believe it. So I sat there and a couple of people over that side with boats. So they must be fishing somewhere. There's no boats here. There's three boat trailers, but no boats tied up against the river. So they're off fishing. I did see one person there somewhere though. Doesn't matter. I look at everything. I got nothing. Normally I'd have the music, but I'll still look at everything that happens on the river. I'm a little bit of a sticky nose for that sort of shit. I don't perv and pry too much, but I do have a look. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah, this group, right? So she's pissing everywhere, right? And I'm going, what the fucking hell, man? What the hell? So I sat there and went over to a couple of the young guys. They were down on the beach. I went down. Now she never went down to wash herself off either. She pissed us. Oh, sorry. So she walked around the campfire. She did 2 laps around the campsite, 2 laps, and pissed herself. Right? You can see it splashing everywhere. Right? It is literally coming out of her onto her leg, running down her legs and onto her feet and all that sort of stuff. Right? Then she was still pissing as she walked back to her group. And there was 5 people in the group at that stage. Another couple of people rocked up a bit afterwards. There were 5 people at the group at that stage. And she walked back over to the group and said, see, I told you. Now, by the way, she did miss it. She did slow down, walking a little bit. She sort of stumbled a bit, just quietly. Now, she sat there and went back over, and one of the guys that was there got his cock out. You could see it in full view. Actually, he had to hold it. No, just joking. He got it out, and he's fucking grabbing it like that, and he's rubbing it up, like literally on her leg, rubbing it up and down her leg, saying, I'm going to piss on you, I'm going to piss on you, ha 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 ha, I'm going to piss on you, like this. And he was literally had cock on leg, on her leg, rubbing up and down. I'm going, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, man, like this, oh, Jesus Christ, like this. So I sat there and, just waited about, 5 or 10 minutes and then went over to the young guys, right, because they were down on the beach. This is up a bit. They were halfway between me and the young guys, and obviously the young guys didn't hear it. Now, I went down there and I told him, I said, you should have seen this, man. And I told him, I explained it to him. Oh, there's the guy there. He's like setting up nets or something. Now, I told these guys, I told the first young guy, oh, I wonder if this is, I don't think it will be. There was a boat that came through a lock with me. I think it's called the Daisy May or the Daisy Joy or something. Really nice old people. They offered me food. I said no. Offered to cook me a dinner. I said no. But they got a really nice boat. If I was going to, actually, I'll get this out. I'll get a bit closer to them and I'll spin it round. You can have a look. See if it's the same ones. Daisy May. Now, I've got two boats in front of me. There's one that looks like it's up on the river, and there's one that's in the river itself, up on the bank, and there's one that's in the river. I don't remember the canvassing on the outside. I'll zoom in a bit. Oh, other way. And I'll try and keep it in view. So it should be the one that's in... Oh no, that's birds. I'm finding out that one there. You can see the boat in front of the bow. Oh, I'll spin this about around a bit. Oh, fuck no. I'm hopeless. Alright, I'm not a very good cameraman. I'm going to get closer, because I wonder if it's them or not. Because they went past me. I went through a lock with them, and they stopped on the side of the river. I paddled past them, and then they went past me while I was paddling down the next day after. So, that's not that one. It is that one there. I just want to get a bit closer. They didn't have the canvassing on the back, but it's a similar shape. It is a similar shape. And I didn't actually find out where they lived. I haven't seen the boat. I haven't gone past the boat. It's not to say that it hasn't stopped somewhere and off the river a bit. I don't think that's the same one. If I was going to buy a boat, I'll get a little bit more side on so you can see it. I hope there's no one sitting there. I'm happy to show a boat that hasn't got one on. If I was going to buy a boat to live on the river, it'd be something like that. If it was going to actually be a boat, a bit of a cabin cruiser type deal. I'll try and go sideways. I reckon there's somebody there. So I'll be careful. Oh, that's not. Oh, yeah, it's a boat. There's the one that's on the bank. I thought it was like a tractor thing. It looked like tracks, but it's a set of steps. I'm hopeless on this river sometimes. No, it's not the same boat. Definitely not the same boat. The other one was a lot cleaner and a lot better. But if I was gonna get something for the river, it'd be that 100%. If I was gonna buy a boat for the river, it'd be that. Actually, I've got to keep going. There might be somebody there. If I was gonna buy a boat, it'd be definitely that. Definitely one of those, something like that. For staying on the river with. Nice little setup. They've got a whole camping corner with the boat. They've got a couple of dinghies and some chairs, a few lawn chairs and stuff like that. Alright, I'll leave it facing this way for a little bit. Now, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, this weird group, right? So yeah, so I went past the weird group and told the young guys. When I said to the young guys, you should have seen this, bloody old man, blah blah blah. And one of the young guys, because there's only one guy there, one of the young guys sat there and told me, because there was only two at the campsite at that time, the main two, and he pointed me down to the other one, and the river. He pointed down at the river. He pointed at the river and said, "Go tell the mate," because the other mate, his mate, was having a bit of a wash down the river. I went down there and I said, "Mate," you should have seen this fucking hole like that. So I went down and told him, "Mate, you should have seen this, blah 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 like this." He goes, "Wow." I said, the older girl, so there was another old girl that was about 55-ish, right? He had overheard her saying to one of the other people, feels like it keeps moving. He had told one of the other girls, "Shut up." They do some weird stuff, these cockies. They're absolute maniacs. I wonder if other birds look at them and go, "You guys are crazy. These are nutcases." Because it's what I think. Now, sometimes when I see animals doing things, I'll put it into a human context, right? Just mucking around. Yeah, I wonder if other birds look at these birds and sit there and think, you guys are just idiots. Is it flapping on about nothing? You know? Anyway, that's just my head. There's not much to think about on this river. Now, so he told me that the older girl, he overheard her saying to one of her friends, I think it was the other female, I don't know when it happened, and I'm assuming it was while it's in the water, that she was going to shit in the water. I'm assuming in the water. She was going to shit on the beach in the water if another person hadn't gone around, but one of her friends hadn't gone around behind her. Right, she was going to shit in the river. He nearly got it, sort of thing, you know, mucking around saying he nearly got it. Right? Now, judging by all the shit that we've no pun intended, but judging by all the crap that you know what I mean, judging by everything they've done so far, it would not have surprised us, right? So we're thinking, fucking hell. Now, even though it's a sandy bank, and a sandy beach and a sandy floor riverbed, sometimes there's clumps of mud, right? And I started sitting there thinking, well, am I standing in mud or shit now? And because they're there doing it. Now, fucking hell. Like this, I sort of started getting a little bit angry about that, actually. You know, the pissing side of things, whatever, but shitting on the beach, you know, if you're going to do it, fucking do it out there somewhere, you know, like, just not in the fucking water, even. Don't do it at all in the water. People are fishing in it, you know. Anyway, so I sat there and, not next to the bank, not next to the bank. If you're going to be right out, that's fair enough, but not right next to the bank. Anyway, so we're just sitting there going, well, what the hell? Now, the next day, or later on anyway, I don't know if it was the next day or the day after or whatever, or even that same day, another couple of people rocked up, right? They had rocked up after that had happened, and they were part of that group, a bit hippie-ish looking, but they seemed actually nice and respectful. They sat there and had a chat, and they just didn't seem like the same as the others. They really didn't, actually. And so that happened. Yeah, we had a couple of days and whatever. And then these women, and it was both the women, right? So both the ones that were pissing and shitting everywhere, right? They sat there and had a crack at the young guys. And the problem was they weren't even having a crack at the right young guys, because they were having a crack at the young guys for riding their motorbikes around, right, and annoying them. Right now, like I said, they only did it for about 10, 15 minutes, and that is... Oh, my battery's fully charged. That's all right. Just a couple of flashing lights on there. Now, I sat there and told them that, so they started having a crack at these young guys about riding their motorbikes and annoying them and being disrespectful. And I just happened to... Now, I had a crack at the big muscly guy for butting in where his nose wasn't needed. I did the same thing, but I was going to defend those young guys. You know, they cop a lot of flack for being young people, you know, not respectful and this and that, and all the inconsiderate, disconsiderate, inconsiderate and whatever, you know. And I'm not going to have this, because these guys have been brilliant. So I sat there and walked over, and I turned around and said to the women, I said, you fuck off and leave them alone. I said, I fucking watched you, and they're going, look, this got nothing to do with it. No, you shut up. I said, this is my fucking campsite, you didn't ask. I said, you want to talk about respect? This is my fucking campsite. I was there first. These young guys asked. They did the right thing, respectful, and asked if they could stay. I said, yes. You didn't ask. That is disrespectful. Right? That's what you want to get into. You want to go talk about respect? This is what respect is. You climbed into someone else's campsite. Right? I know it's a big area. I said, not the point. We might have needed that space for some friends that were coming in. You didn't know that. You didn't ask. Right? We might have needed this whole space. Right? Not that many people come. I said, don't start that crap, man. I said, I've had 35 people in here. I've got 7 caravans in here. Don't tell me that space wouldn't have been used, okay? Right? If you encroach on somebody else's campsite, you ask if you can stay. Right? I would have said yes, 100% I would have said yes. I said, but don't assume that you can. You should ask. That's respect. These guys did it, you didn't. Right? I said, I watched you, and I pointed to the woman. I said, I freaking watched you piss yourself. Walking around this campsite, not even your own area, you did it in the middle of the campsite where people have got to fucking walk in their bare feet, right? That is not respectful, right? Not respecting the other campers around in your area, right? You want to talk about respect? That is not respectful, all right? I'm going to have a crack at you. I'm not doing it to defend them. I'm not butting my nose in. I'm talking about, you want to have a crack at somebody about respect? This is respect. I'm going to tell you what respect is, right? And these are people much about the same age as me, right? Freaking hell. No, and they're having a crack at young guys that were actually 10 times more respectful than what they were. So anyway, what'll be 24 minutes, this will be finished by then. Now, I sat there and, I'll better start paddling again. I'll never get anywhere. I'm enjoying doing these videos, actually. I'm glad I'm doing them. It doesn't feel like I've been on the river for 4 hours. I have been on the river for 4 hours now, I reckon, pretty close to it. Now, so I sat and told him that. I said, I watched you piss yourself. Right? You never went down and cleaned up or nothing. Right? Fucking hell. Like that. And then I said to the older woman, I pointed to her and I said, you were sitting there, overheard, talking about shit in the fucking river. Now, I don't know if I'm stepping in mud or shit now. I fucking don't know. Oh, the river will take it down. Doesn't matter. I'm fishing down there. And your shit's going down where I'm fucking fishing. Right? I can't fish down there anymore. Right? And I didn't. I had to stop. I had to find another fucking spot. Right? And I was kind of lucky that actually that was the last group. They left on the Sunday and I left on the Tuesday. Both those groups, the 25-year-old and the weird group, left on the Sunday. I packed up on the Monday, did most of my packing up on the Monday, got the canoe packed, and only had the bare minimum to do on the Tuesday morning, right? So I was lucky I didn't have to do much more that weekend anyway. And because they left, I could fish off the beach, and hopefully, because I had to fish, I had to catch something, and I couldn't fish anywhere else because of snags, right? So I just had to do right. I just had to, I don't know. Now, anyway, I sat there and said, you're fucking shitting in the beach. Now, I don't know if I'm sitting in mud or shit now. I said, don't have a crack at these young guys. I said, these young guys have been freaking awesome. I said, the motorbikes were annoying, but it was only 15 minutes. If that's the worst that anyone's done in this river, that's it. I don't care. I said, you guys didn't ask to stay here. I said, you're pissing and shitting everywhere. I said, you want to talk about respect, that's it, done. Like this. And the two people that rocked up after all this shit, no pun intended again, after all that happened, the two people were looking around going, what the hell's been going on while we haven't been here? And they're sitting there looking at me, looking at them and whatever, going, what the hell's going on? Like this. So that's that group, that's a weird group. I need a bit of a break, I think. Actually, I need a water. I've got to stop at Swan Reach. I keep forgetting to get water. I keep forgetting to fill my buckets up with water. So I think I've only got about a litre or two left. More than enough to get there. I just got to hope I can get fresh water there. I'll get something. Well, they're going nuts again. It's really weird. They fly out of the same tree. This group's quite a small one. It's only about 30 odd. They're in the tree. They fly out of the tree all the way around, start squawking, carrying on like you can hear them. Then they fly back straight into the back. When I first got on the river, I thought they did that because there was something approaching and they're scared of it, And I thought it was maybe me. They're doing it because I'm here, because it's not. They can do it like 100 metres up the river. You can see it. I don't know why they do it. It's really weird. These are cockatiels, and you got the cockies. These are cockatiels. Cockatiels. These aren't as bad as the cockies. They're not quite as loud. They're not quite as loud. They're not quite as ear-piercingly screamy, if you know what I mean. The cockies are terrible. In fact, at the first spot at Echuca, I sat there, and normally they start at late at night. They started about sort of, like evening, mid-evening, and they just squawk and carry on, flap around and do whatever. And they squawk for about an hour, half an hour, an hour and a half sometimes. Right? They do it first thing in the morning, that's what wakes me up. They do it last thing at night, in the day. During daylight, but sort of right at the very start and end. Right? Sunset, sun up. Yeah. Now, there was one day, because I usually stop by about sort of 8 o'clock-ish, 7:30, 8 o'clock, roughly, in the morning. Now, this particular day, they went right through till lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and it was doing my head in. Well, I'm sitting there going, what the freaking hell is going on here? Like these. And it's the actual cockies, so that like full-on screeching and that sort of thing. Oh, my freaking God, what is it? What? Oh, like this, I was getting a headache, literally getting a headache, tearing my hair out, And what had happened was, and this is why I think sometimes I thought it was me after this happened, because there was a koala up there, up in the tree, and the there was about 2 or 3, maybe about 6 cockies, right next to the koala, screeching at it, like this, right into the koala. And the koala didn't give a shit, mate. It was just pulling leaves off and munching on it. Just did not give a shit, eh? And I thought maybe the koala was stuck up there because I was camped there, because it hadn't been, well, the cockies hadn't seen it. I don't know if it was up there or not, but the cockies hadn't seen it. So I thought it must have gone up there overnight. Now the cockies are cracking the shit over it and trying to get rid of it, right? So I sat there and left the campsite for like 3 or 4 hours. I just went up somewhere, fished on the side of the river around the corner to try and let this koala come down the tree and go somewhere else so the cockies would piss off, right? Now, that didn't happen, but they did sort of stop eventually. And the next day, the cocky was gone. The koala was gone, so it didn't happen again. But they didn't go all day. They did stop about lunchtime-ish, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the arvo. But it was driving me nuts, absolutely driving me nuts. Like, the flies haven't done it at that stage, the mozzies hadn't done it, but those cockies that day, like the first time, I was just going, what the fucking hell have I done to myself? It was like just nightmare. Anyway, so that's the trick over and done with. I had a crack at these people. The young guys sat there, and one of them actually shook my hand and said, "Oh, thanks for defending us." And I sort of, "You didn't have to. We would have stood up for ourselves." No. Like, you guys cop a lot of shit from old people. It's about time an old. Not that I'm that old, but I'm older than them. It's my age that has a crack at these guys. My age and older has a crack, and that's what these girls were. They were my age. One was about my age, and most of the guys were about my age. And there was, maybe up to about 50, 55-ish at the most. So they're my age. They're similar to my generation sort of deal. Only one generation above me sort of thing. I mean, they weren't even old enough to be my parents. They weren't that quite old enough for that. Definitely not old enough for that, actually. Anyway, so I said to the young guys, I said, I'll defend you. And in fact, it's not just about you, it's about me as well, because they were disrespectful for me for not asking to stay at the campsite anyway, and pissing where we walk, and that sort of stuff. So it's a little bit you and me. I said, but I'll defend you. I'll 100% defend you, because you get enough bullshit, get handed down to you about being disrespectful and that sort of stuff young people do. I said, I'll stand up for you. Credit where credit's due. I'll have a crack at you. If you're doing something, I'll have a crack at you. And they're going, oh, yeah, no, we know that. We know that. Because I was full on, you like this. Because they're pissing and shitting. If it's just thing, whatever. But pissing and shitting, freaking hell. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, that's it. That's that group I haven't done with. And that's the trick I haven't done with. I sat there and they left on the Sunday. Both groups left on the Sunday. I packed up on the Monday and left on the Tuesday. All right, I'll be back.